the table starting to turn and stuff starting to collapse. Like you already see that. Once you start seeing moves like that happen, it gets real spooky. So I think a lot of us are wondering about that other person. Not gonna say any names. Ladies and gentlemen, slimes and dimes, my hip hop crimies and crimettes, welcome back to the couch, man. We are here for another reaction episode, and this one is a little different, dog. This is the disaster of Diddy news right now. You know what I'm saying? This is the Diddy downfall, the Diddy tracker, whatever you want to call it. We're here to talk about Diddy right now because, you know, Diddy has been a major figure, you know what I'm saying, in our hip hop lives for a long time. And, you know, I think with all this stuff that's happening within the last couple of months, couple of weeks, couple of days, whatever you want to say, it's all about to unfold and take a real ugly turn, dog. Like, I don't think we're ready as people in hip hop. I think people are trying to skip around it. People are trying to avoid about what's real and what's going to really kind of happen with this. And I'm going to say it right here, right now on this channel here. And I don't know if any other people have said it. I haven't watched too many reactions on this, to be honest with you. But I will say here, right now, that this may be heading into hip hop's very own Me Too like moment. This is bigger than Diddy. Diddy's a piece of shit, no doubt. But this is bigger than Diddy right now. You know, he's been tied in with a lot of these allegations, and obviously he's not a lone wolf doing this, and there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of names that are unfortunately going to come out of this situation. And I think if a lot of us that have kind of been paying attention to the news, the rumor mills, or whatever you want to call it, because none of this stuff is fact until it actually comes out, we can suspect what those names are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put nobody's names in my videos as far as putting stuff on people's jackets, but if you know, you know what I'm saying? And if you're assuming, then you kind of see where this is going. But hopping right into this a little bit, I just want to give my quick take on this Diddy thing. But there's been a lot that's happened in the last few days. I feel like he just got arrested like Monday or something like that. Like last Monday, it hasn't even been a week. And like there's just so much developing where it's like there's this 14-page document. There's just, you know, the Diddy on suicide watch. He's in danger now, you know, from being at the facility that he's currently at. And then today, I believe they released the arrest footage finally, which once again, this is going to unravel so fast that I don't think people are really ready to see it, what's really about to be under these layers. Like, we've heard the rumors, we've seen the Wendy Williams out there, we know about all the Kim Porter stuff, we heard about the Biggie, we heard about the Tupac, but I don't think we really ready. Like, are y'all really ready for this shit? Because I'm not even ready, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not ready to see how this is about to unfold because I think this is about to get nasty. But with that being said, man, we're just going to hop right into ABC talking about just what's next for Diddy right now in the federal case and whatnot. And then we'll follow up with the footage as well because that just got released a couple hours ago. And then we'll just chat a little bit and react and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because this is some major news in hip-hop, man. Like, it's something big.
Arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here? ABC's Morgan Norwood breaks it down.
Who's the boss? Dudes is lost. Don't think cause I'm iced out, I'm a cool off.
The sex trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs moving full speed ahead. Lawyers for Combs and prosecutors set to hold a status conference to determine the next phase following the sweeping indictment alleging the music mogul leveraged his business empire, power, and prestige to abuse his alleged victims.
He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his...
For a hot second, because I am reacting, and if you haven't already seen the news, then you already seen it. But I will say with these co-conspirators, man, it's very interesting to see how nobody's speaking up on this. Not to say that they should, but I also find it on the back end of that, while nobody's speaking up, a lot of people are sure quick to be like, yo, I wasn't at these parties, or I was at the parties, but I was there till 3. Now, this is just me assuming. This is just my own opinion right here. This is not fact at all or nothing, but anybody who I keep seeing coming out saying that and is like already pushing out the whole I'm not guilty, I ain't a part of this thing, I feel like you got some skeletons, B. Like, that's just once again my personal opinion and my assumption. Like, when you just out here just doing too much of that, I was there but I left at this time, that just doesn't sound right. Like, you might as well was better off just kind of saying like I wasn't there at all, or just like not even speaking on it, just being real.
Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
As the disgraced
Disgrace. They
rapper
using that
faces
word a lot right
racketeering,
now, huh?
conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution
These whole words are
charges,
funny. Disgrace.
investigators now working to determine who his alleged co-conspirators were and whether they too should be charged. 54-year-old Combs pleading not guilty to charges that he led a racketeering conspiracy that abused women.
I'm going to fight like hell to get him released, and he should be released.
The indictment alleged some of Combs' employees helped set off so-called freak-offs in which women
What's
were
crazy
forced
about-
into...
Obviously, you know, you have to have your defense fight hard for you, but I'm like, shit, dog. Like, once the feds get up on your ass like that and they really hunker down and, like, really want to get you, like, plus, once again, like, I think people fail to realize, like, once they do all that, they already got what they really needed. I feel like they're just putting the other stuff in motion now. I'm no law expert or nothing like that, but that's just how it seems. Like, once the feds do all this, like, and they have that crazy rate too. Like, you don't beat the feds. Pretty much, you're not beating the feds.
sex acts with male prostitutes.
He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims.
Prosecutors said authorities seized records along with firearms, drugs, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil
love how
and
that's like the
lubricant
highlight, the
during
1,000
raids
bottles
last
of
March
lube.
on Diddy's homes in Miami
Do we not
and
find
Los
that
Angeles.
suspicious?
Something's controlling me.
Combs has been under criminal investigation since his former partner and recording artist Cassie Ventura accused him in a November civil lawsuit of rape, repeated abuse, and even sex trafficking. At the center of the case, this 2016 video exclusively obtained by CNN showing a 2016 altercation
minute
caught
ago,
on
too.
surveillance video of Combs grabbing and kicking Ventura. The lawsuit was settled with no admission of wrongdoing, Combs issuing an apology video back in May.
I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
This too, I feel like when he was doing all this, it was more like, bro, you really think you're untouchable, dog? Because if you peeped his moves too, like, I don't know if his lawyers or his team advised him to do that or whatever, but I'm like, bro, you out here moving like everything is sweet. And, like, once again, I said in my previous Diddy reaction when he first got arrested, like, they just let you enjoy the summer, brother. That's it. They just let you straight up enjoy the summer, bro. Like, that was all that was.
Since then, the rapper the subject of multiple civil lawsuits, allegations which he has denied.
Swimming in women with their own condominiums.
Gonna give us all the hits to make it feel bad, huh?
Drive millenniums.
Combs has reportedly amassed a $1 billion fortune after he shot to fame in the 1990s with hits like It's All About the Benjamins, launching the label Bad Boy Records, and the successful careers of Mary J. Blige, Usher, and Notorious B.I.G.
You know, I don't like seeing those faces there, but I hope it ain't true what I've been hearing in the rumor mill about the Mary J's and stuff like that. I hope it ain't true, man. I really hope it ain't true.
Later expanding his brand into fashion, fragrances, and alcohol. That business empire now in jeopardy.
Sean Combs also faces a forfeiture in this criminal case, where the government says that anything involving this criminal enterprise could be forfeited to the U.S. government.
Our thanks to Morgan Norwood for breaking down how we got here. And it has been a staggering fall from grace for music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. But what can we expect moving forward? I want to bring in legal affairs journalist Megan Cuniff for more on this. Megan, I appreciate you being here because there is no one else, truly, who I'd rather talk to about this. The Washington Post calls you arguably the most influential legal journalist working today. You've got your finger on the pulse. Your nose all up in it, Megan. Diddy is currently being held without bond after his appeal was denied by a judge Wednesday. How significant is this to keep someone this high profile behind bars?
I also got to mention, too, obviously him getting denied the bail. That was an obvious thing. Like, this dude's a billionaire. He's a flight risk. Like, though he didn't try to leave, but, like, you're not going to let him just reconsider it either. So, like, you're going to have to deny the bail. Like, it just has to happen like that. And I think the evidence that they have on him is pretty circumstantial evidence, dog. Like, once again, too, I think people, if they have all these tapes, and this is like kind of going into my serial killer thing, like documentaries and stuff like that, like, these type of people like to keep their work, so to say. You know, they like to keep and document things and hold on to shit. So best believe he's got all them tapes. Whatever they found, he got them. And that's what's sick about this. It's just about who.
I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing and the weight of the federal government.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, he had his mansions in Florida and California raided at the same time. And so much of this has played out publicly, starting back with that civil lawsuit from Cassie, and then more lawsuits and denial of the claims, but then settling very quickly with Cassie, denial of other claims. And it's been this slow drip until this point. You have covered celebrity cases before, most famously Tory Lane's assault trial in 2022. That went viral
I do have a question, though. Where Cassie been at? I mean, I'm assuming that she's most likely working with the feds, but that's just, once again, we're here reacting. This is just my assumption. This is not fact. But for anybody in the comments that knows a little bit more about what Cassie's end is, like, where has Cassie been? Like, I know Cassie's been brought up about a lot of this throughout the whole entire case, or whatever you want to say. But is she actually working with the feds? Because I feel like we haven't seen Cassie, like, at all, like a statement or anything, unless I'm missing something. So let me know in the comments. I'm just curious to know. Do they have her, like, in protected custody? Like, I don't know. I'm just curious to know.
Really known as Twitter. What do you think about the responses that people are having to Diddy's case and his reputation at this point?
World.
I think it's to be expected, just the shock of this and the questions about what is ahead of us. I mean, how long is he going to be in custody? Is this an R. Kelly situation? Is he going to not get out for a number of years? Is he going to end up serving a long-term prison sentence from this? Or does he have a chance of beating these charges at a trial that could come, within the next 2 years? I think there's a lot of questions about the timeline. And then, like it was said in the report before, the question of co-conspirators. Is he going to end up with co-defendants on this? And if he does, who are they going to be?
Well, and that point exactly, Megan, is what has so much of people talking and speculating who else could be involved when you know the influence that Sean Diddy Combs has had in the music industry for decades. I mean, is it even possible to say how big this could get?
Crazy. It's about to blow up.
It's a question of that, but when you read through the indictment, it's pretty clear who could be indicted as a co-conspirator. Right now, there are people in the indictment who would be considered unnamed co-conspirators, but clearly have played a role in this conspiracy. And I think prosecutors have some big leverage on them because they're hoping that they testify against Diddy as prosecution witnesses. But if they're co-defendants, there's a little bit more leverage there to work out some kind of cooperation deal to ensure that.
I can't wait to get into those little documents of the indictment here, because if it goes the same way that they did the press conference the other day, where they kind of went over certain parts of the case and like just talking in that press conference, it was clear that they were talking about specific people, and you could just tell if, like, once again, if you were just paying attention to the story and just whatever they were talking about in the context, you know what they're talking about. So now I'm very curious to get into these documents. Anybody who out there has actually read the documents in already, let me know as well in the comments, because I will be on this tomorrow. Because it's, like I said already, like, it's about to get super thick. Once stuff really gets out there, man, we're about to hear some names. Like, you already see, like, a couple of CEOs are stepping down. Like, you already kind of see the table starting to turn and stuff starting to collapse. Like, you already see that. Once you start seeing moves like that happen, it gets real spooky. So I think a lot of us are wondering about that other person. Not gonna say any names.
Their testimony, or perhaps there's bigger fish in the pond that they want to go after, but there's just a lot of questions that remain to be seen about whether there's a superseding indictment and whether it includes co-defendants. But there's also strategic reasons for the prosecutors to want him to have co-defendants, because right now he hasn't waived his right to a speedy trial, which would force prosecutors to take him to trial pretty quick, which they actually might not be ready to do. But if they supersede him and have co-defendants with him, it makes it a lot easier to pursue a trial continuance without him waiving his speedy trial right.
This is all very interesting, and it means that we could see potentially more people charged. We just don't know yet where this will go.
Exactly.
Megan, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. We really appreciate you. Legal affairs journalist Megan Cuniff.
Are you interested in getting your...
Yeah, it's about to get real crazy in the hip-hop world, man. I hate to say it. Just hearing this unfold and hearing now that you have co-conspirators and co-defendants, you hear shit like that. And we know who Diddy's been really associated with, man. This is going to suck for hip-hop. It's going to put a stain on hip-hop. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I think hip-hop is heading for its own Me Too-ish like moment. And I don't know if it's really Me Too. I don't know what this... I'm just going Me Too based off of what we already had in the past. And this is also sounding very epi-like. You know, we're not going to say the name here, but it sounded very Epps-like. You know what I mean? And it's not looking good for the state of hip-hop. Even though I think I also seen a young lady ask Method Man the other day on TMZ, like, does this ruin hip-hop or anything? And, like, the way he answered it, and I forgot exactly. I wish I had that in front of me. I don't agree that it's gonna like ruin or destroy hip hop, but it does put a huge blemish on hip hop because Diddy has been a major face of hip hop for 30 plus years. So it's only right to say that. Just like, you know, R. Kelly is disregarded as the king of R&B or whatever because of all the foul things that he's got on his jacket. So it's like it comes with the territory, but I don't think this is gonna really make hip hop that bad. But we gotta wait and see, actually, because it all depends on these names that are gonna come out. Because once these co-conspirators or co-defendants really leak out of there, I think this is what's gonna really change the trajectory of just hip hop as a genre, dog. I hate to say it, it's definitely coming. But let me hop right into the Diddy arrest footage because they released that today, and we all been wondering to see how that went. Now, this is just going to be a quick one. It got released a couple hours ago. Give me 1 second here, y'all. But we going to play that too, just because I think this is all significant.
New surveillance video shows.
And it's the thing, they're already leaking videos out now, so.
At a Manhattan hotel last week. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky.
Oh, they just gave us the. Come here, buddy. We got you.
Good morning, Aaron.
Come on, buddy.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is the hotel where Sean Combs was arrested a week ago. You can now see how that arrest went down. This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others.
Come talk with us, buddy.
From Homeland Security
Thank God his
investigations
ass
approach
smooth.
and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
1, 2, 3.
Boss said you moving around like shit is sweet, though.
New York with his family, seemingly in good spirits. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges. At the center of the case, this 2016 video obtained by CNN that depicts Combs attacking his then-girlfriend, the singer Cassie, and then dragging her back toward a hotel room. Federal prosecutors said the video is powerful evidence of how dangerous the hip-hop mogul could be to women, part of why 2 different federal judges denied him bail.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
Combs, who lived in this $50 million Miami mansion, is now in an isolated unit of a federal jail in Brooklyn known for miserable conditions.
The special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3, staff members escorting them.
When Combs first arrived at jail, he was monitored for suicide. That's common for any high-profile inmate. But his attorney says Combs is not suicidal. Rather, guys, he's focused on defending himself. Guys?
All right, we'll see what happens.
All right, well, stay tuned with that, man. I just want to, share, see what this footage was and react to it a little bit. I mean, shit. Did it in typical Fed fashion, dog. Let him walk in, think shit was sweet, and come here, my brother, let's go have a little conversation. And then they got him. But that's the end of Diddy as we know it thus far. I wouldn't say that he's done, but he's damn near close to it. Like they tenderizing his shit right now. So he's gonna be talking. That's really what I'm getting from all of this, and I don't have much, but he's gonna be talking. Like there's no doubt in my mind now. What happens when he starts talking, and if he starts talking, stay tuned. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe on the video. I will be back with more of this Diddy disaster, because Diddy's going down, B. But I'm out of here. Peace.